What up, Shelly? Listen to this. There's this sound coming from up in the sky in this general vicinity. What up, Kristen? And like it's been like doing this little vibration sound, and then it just lets out this blood-curdling, screamy sound like a banshee. And it's been like half an hour ever since the lightning and thunder started. Shelly, wait till it screams. Woo! I'm like standing in the middle of a field right now. All right, listen, it's gonna do it any second, Shelly. Hold on. That is so fucking scary. I get goosebumps. I don't know what that is. All right, I'm going back inside. I've had enough of the screaming band. Yeah, that sounds like someone screaming bloody murder. I mean, that is not cool. Whatever it is. And it literally sounds like it's coming from the sky. If anybody recognizes that sound, let me know. All right, I'm out. I know, right, Shelly? Hold on a second. Whew. My hair's all windblown and wet. Here, hold on a second. Is it pretty loud over the phone? I mean, I always thought the horns of Jericho would sound... Man, it's almost like someone has some big-ass stereo speakers up on top of one of these buildings, and they're just blaring this sound, like a sound effects of someone screaming in a haunted forest or something. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I've done one.
Isn't that bizarre?
So we've seen this narrative in the news stories. We've seen the footage detailing an increase of all kinds of activity in the skies. But that's not all. Recently there was a SpaceX launch. They sent 2 astronauts to dock with the International Space Station. NASA is a large part of this beast system, and it's heavily Freemasonic. Almost every event or launch that comes out of NASA is coded or is ritualistic. These rituals are paying reverence to their sun god, Lucifer. Here's a picture of the actual capsule they just sent up. It's called Crew Dragon. Of course, it has the dragon on there. Going back to the Bible, a very obvious symbol of the beast. Here's an example of how they've coded some numbers in this recent Falcon 9 mission. First off, we look at the date. It was May 30th, 2020. So right there we find the 322. And the 322 is American Illuminati. It goes back to the Skull and Bones. And just in case you think that's a coincidence, you can look it up and you'll see the news stories report as 322 being the time of the actual launch. So we had a launch at 322 on 322. The number 33 is extremely important to Freemasons for various reasons. Perhaps most notably, the highest level of Freemasonry is the 33rd degree of the Scottish Rite. They launch from Cape Canaveral. The first 2 letters of Cape Canaveral are C. It's the 3rd letter in the alphabet. Together, that's a 33. The only launch pad at White Sands, New Mexico is Launch Pad 33, and following the first shuttle mission, the landing on Earth took place on runway 33. The Apollo 11 mission is probably one of the best examples of how NASA will create these Masonic rituals right in front of the public, but so few people understand or see. Whether it actually happened or it was filmed in a Hollywood studio, the mission itself was filled